Chris Mackowski for Emerging Civil War, and I'm here with a number of my Emerging Civil War colleagues. Let me make sure I can see them all. And we're just kind of hanging out, and I've said, hey, let's take a quick second and tell our friends back home what do we like about this particular battlefield here at Gettysburg. Rob, you're closest to me, and
I get to go first.
you get to go
That's
first.
awesome. Yeah.
So here, Rob, what do you like about?
Well, for me, really, it's the landscape is so well preserved, but actually, it's the intensity of the public that like to come here. I mean, they have battlefield walks today. There's 200 plus people. A lot of us work at battlefield sites that wouldn't draw that at all, and it's come here and seeing all these people interested in this topic is always encouraging.
Now, Billy Griffith joining us from Emerging Rev War. You're also a Gettysburg guy, though, so you're mixing two wars. Does that ever give you cognitive dissonance?
It gets tiring sometimes.
Does it? Yeah. What do you like about the battlefield?
I love it because the story that the Union veterans wanted us to remember is here in these monuments. And this was a generational event for so many, and it really is a testament that there's 1,300 monuments here, telling that story. And here we are 150 plus years later, and we're remembering these guys who fought here because of what they left behind.
Now, how well do you think that this battlefield tells that story? How accurately?
Well, when it comes to the Union side, yes, very accurate, I believe. This was a Union victory. It was on northern soil, so they wanted it to be a memorial to their service here. But, century later plus, you get Confederate memorials here. And now we're still working to try to tell both sides of the story equally.
I think Rob Orrison actually goes outside of these headquarters and lights a little candlelight vigil.
Well, today's actually John Reynolds Day, so we don't want to talk about Lee today. It's John Reynolds Day. My friend Steve will talk about that in a second.
That's right. I'm going to bring Steve on to talk about that in just a second. Let me, Kevin, you were kind of next in line here. Kevin Pawlak, and you're an Antietam guy. Mm-hmm. Do you feel any sort of sibling rivalry with those?
Oh, absolutely. There definitely is. Yeah, very much so. I mean, Antietam is the real turning point of the war, as we know. But, Gettysburg is the Mecca, really.
And you can read his essay on that in the Turning Points book, right?
That's right. Yes, exactly. But, yeah, I mean, for me, Gettysburg, just the story of Gettysburg is really incredible. It's where I got my interest in the Civil War. First, so it's the Mecca. This is where people come to study the Civil War, to be on Civil War battlefields. As Rob said, this is where hundreds of people come, especially during the anniversary.
So now you described it as the Mecca. Is it really all that and a bag of chips?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is where
with salsa, Steve says, yeah.
I talk to plenty of people that come and they say they go to Gettysburg every single year for that. And so for people, it is like a pilgrimage. And they say they've been to Manassas once, they've been to Fredericksburg, Spotsylvania a couple times, but they've been to Gettysburg 12, 13, 14 times. And so it's kind of a pilgrimage for people.
Okay, yeah. Cool. I grew up in Hershey. We came here every year on field trips.
There you go. So you're case in point.
I get it. So Steve, you're wearing a John Reynolds shirt. Let's make sure we get that.
Yes, got to show it off. Thank you.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. So this is sort of a National Day of mourning for you.
It is a National Day of mourning. I had someone actually post a video of Sarah McLachlan in the arms of an angel on my Facebook page. And 156 years later, we're still. Now it's more celebrating his life. So what do I love coming about this? Like a lot of people here, I grew up in Denver. And I'm not saying everyone here's from Denver, but I grew up far away. But you hear about Gettysburg, you read about it, you see the film, and it becomes kind of ingrained in your mindset with the Civil War. And I live in Washington, D.C. now. We're not too far away, so this is kind of my escape route. I take every few weeks or so, come up and see the battlefield. I think Rob was talking about how beautiful the landscape is. It's really open. It shows you what an early war, Civil War battlefield looks like. And it's good to be here with friends. All of us have come together. There's people from California that have flown out that I know that come out every year to see the anniversary.
Now, I want to give you the chance to plug the whole idea of finding your fort.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, I work for the Civil War Defense of Washington in Washington, D.C. And there is a connection. If you go on our Facebook page, you'll see that there is a post about John Reynolds. After he was killed, they renamed a fort in Arlington after John Reynolds, so Fort Reynolds. We manage 17 sites around the National Capital Region. And we've got the big battle of Fort Stevens coming up on July 13th, 2019 on Saturday. So come out and see us. There's going to be a lot of different events out there. And you'll see me. So works out, huh?
Which is fantastic.
That's what the people want, Chris.
That's what they want. What they want. So on behalf of my colleagues with Emerging Civil War and Emerging Rev War, we're delighted to spend a little time with you. Thanks for sharing some time with us. I'm Chris Mackowski for Emerging Civil War.
Take care. John Reynolds forever.